All right, let's get right into it. We're going to pull back the curtain on what it really takes to build wealth online. This isn't about hype, it's about the actual stages, based on the lessons of someone who lost a fortune and then built it all back bigger than ever. I want you to just imagine this for a second. The year is 1995. You're 28, you're a self-made millionaire, and you've built this huge empire of physical stores. And then, the internet happens. And almost overnight, your entire business, everything you poured your life into, is basically worthless. It's a true story, and it's a terrifying place to be.
So you're at this fork in the road, right? It boils down to a simple, brutal choice. Do you just quit? Let it all crumble to dust? Or do you learn to fight in this brand new, strange world of the internet? The choice was made. Fight back.
But you know, fighting back wasn't some heroic movie montage. Just like so many people today, the first instinct was to jump on every get-rich-quick gimmick out there. The hype was everywhere. And the result? Millions, literally millions of dollars down the drain on schemes that were anything but easy. Just years of painful, expensive mistakes.
But here's the thing about failure. If you learn from it, it's not a total loss. And out of all those mistakes, a system started to emerge. Not a gimmick, not a trick, but a real, repeatable code for winning online. It's called the Online Wealth Wheel, and understanding its 4 stages is absolutely the key to building a real, lasting business today. So let's start where everybody starts. Stage 1. This is the starting line. And it's where, honestly, most people spend their entire lives. And this is where it gets kind of crazy. Take a look at this breakdown. A staggering 55% of people, they never even start. They just stay on the sidelines, watching. That's more than half. So why? That 55%, that's a huge group of people who feel totally stuck. They know that having just one paycheck is riskier than ever, but when they look at the online world, it just seems like this massive, confusing jungle of bad advice. So they do nothing.
So how do you beat stage 1? It's almost laughably simple. You just have to start. That's it. That's the whole secret. If you've got a skill, say editing or coding, sell it. If you don't, sell a product. The only thing that matters is getting off the sidelines and into the game.
Okay, but getting in the game isn't enough, because a lot of people who do start immediately get trapped in stage 2. We call this the failure loop. And this is the reality for about 28% of people who try. They've got a side hustle, yeah, but it's making them less than $50 a month. The problem isn't that they're not working hard. The problem is they have zero focus. Their energy is scattered everywhere. It's caused by what we call shiny object syndrome. You know what I'm talking about. One week it's drop shipping, the next it's crypto, then you're trying to be a social media guru. You're like a gold miner who digs 100 holes 3 feet deep instead of digging one hole 100 feet deep, and you give up right before you strike gold every single time.
The only way out of this loop is to stop digging new holes. You have to pick one shovel, one simple, scalable method, and just commit. A perfect example of this is automated e-commerce, because the whole system is built for focus. It lets you go deep on one thing without getting distracted by the next shiny object.
And look, the process is way simpler than you'd think. You can use free AI tools now to build your store, to find winning products, and then the whole thing runs on autopilot. Inventory, shipping, it's all automated. You literally never have to touch a single box. Your one and only job is creating free content to get people to your store. All right, so for the people who actually escape that failure loop, they finally reach stage 3, the successful breakthrough. Now, this is a much smaller club. Only about 16% of people ever make it here. This is the group that has a real, working, successful side hustle. But getting into this club, it requires you to follow 4 rules that are totally non-negotiable.
Rule number 1 is focus. But this isn't just about picking a niche. It's about having the guts to actively exclude people. Instead of being a little bit of something for everybody, you become everything to one specific person. You define your ideal customer so well, you know what keeps them up at night. And when you do that, your marketing stops feeling like shouting into a void and starts feeling like a real conversation.
Rule 2, consistency. And honestly, this might be the biggest one. Forget about motivation. Motivation is flaky. It's about building a system of small things you do every single day. It's not about making one perfect viral video. It's about the boring, compounding power of just showing up day in and day out. That's what builds unstoppable momentum.
Rule number 3 is show, don't tell. Look, people don't buy products. They buy better versions of themselves. They buy transformations. So your job isn't to list a bunch of features. It's to demonstrate a result. Don't just tell me your gaming mouse is fast. Show me a video comparing my reaction time with a normal mouse versus yours. Let me see the transformation. You're not selling stuff, you're selling a better outcome.
And finally, rule number 4 is trust. Online, trust is everything. It's the most valuable currency you have. And you build it by creating an entire universe of proof around your product. We're not talking 1 or 2 reviews. We're talking unboxing videos, testimonials, people sharing photos with your product. Every single piece of proof makes it easier for a new person to say yes.
Now, here's the secret. Most people who make it to stage 3, they pop the champagne, they stop, they think they've won the game. But the real wealth, the kind of freedom that changes your entire life, that's hiding in one final, secret stage of the wheel.
That final stage is what separates the successful 16% from the truly elite 1% of online entrepreneurs.
What is the absolute laziest but still totally viable way to make over $100 a day online? Well, today we're going to find out. We are going on a quest, putting 5 of the most popular methods to the test to crown the one true champion of lazy wealth. But first things first, we need a rule book. Can't have a competition without rules, right? So we're going to judge every single method against these 5 crucial points. A super gentle learning curve, crazy easy fulfillment, high scalability, low startup cash, and of course, minimal risk. This is our blueprint for what true effortless income really looks like. All right, our first contender is a classic, freelancing. You know, selling a skill online. Maybe you're great at video editing or graphic design or writing. It definitely offers flexibility. But the real question for us is, how lazy is it? And yikes, right away we have a problem. This scorecard really tells the story. The learning curve is a fail. It can take 6 months, maybe more, just to build a portfolio that'll actually get you hired. Fulfillment, oh, that's a huge fail. Dealing with demanding clients is super stressful and just kills that whole lazy vibe. And scalability, another fail. Your income is tied directly to the hours you can work. No work, no pay. So here's the deal. It's a totally valid way to make money, for sure. But is it lazy? Not a chance. Freelancing is out of the running. Okay, let's move on to our next contender, Airbnb arbitrage. The idea sounds pretty slick. You rent a property and then you just relist it on Airbnb for a profit. It promises that passive income dream. But there's a pretty serious catch. And this just lays the problem bare. Just look at that capital requirement. $5,000 to $15,000 upfront. That's a massive, massive fail. And with that kind of money on the line, the risk is just through the roof. It also gets a fail on fulfillment because you still need to set up management systems for cleaning, for check-ins. It's just not passive enough. It is way too expensive and far too risky to ever be called lazy wealth. So, Airbnb arbitrage, you are eliminated. Okay, let's try something a little more down to earth. Our third contender is the classic eBay shop. You find some products, you list them online, and you sell them. Seems simple enough, doesn't it? And you know, it starts off pretty strong. The learning curve gets a pass, you can get set up in about 2 weeks, but then we hit fulfillment. That's a fail. Why? Because you're the one packing boxes, running to the post office, and handling all the returns. All that manual labor and customer service stress, it's just not lazy enough for this competition. What we're looking for is something with 0 customer service headaches and 0 fulfillment stress. For that reason, the eBay shop is also eliminated. So we've knocked out 3 contenders already. What could possibly be left? Well, this is where it gets really interesting because our final 2 contestants, they're in a whole different league. Let's meet contender number 4, affiliate marketing. The whole idea is just beautifully simple. You promote other people's products using a special link. When someone clicks your link and buys something, you get a commission. That is it. And would you look at this scorecard? It's a clean sweep, all passes. Learning curve, you can get the hang of this in a day or 2. Fulfillment, a perfect pass because there's nothing to fulfill. Once your link is out there, your work is pretty much done. No inventory, no customer service, capital and risk are both basically 0. And it's super scalable, especially with free organic content. This is a fantastic option. Affiliate marketing seems almost perfect. I mean, it ticks every single box for lazy wealth. But what if I told you there's one method that takes lazy to an entirely new level? This brings us to our final contender, the AI-powered Shopify store. Now, you can think of it like a dropshipping store, but it's been supercharged with artificial intelligence. Let's put it head-to-head with our current champ. So affiliate marketing is easy, yeah? But the AI store has a learning curve of practically zero. Why? Because the AI can build your store, pick winning products for you, and even handle the design. For fulfillment, the entire process is automated, from inventory all the way to shipping it to the customer. You never have to touch a single package. So what does all this mean? It means the AI Shopify store is the ultimate shortcut. It automates all the hardest, most annoying parts of e-commerce, and that makes it the definitive winner. It is the absolute best bet for a low-effort, highly scalable, and pretty much risk-free income stream you can manage from anywhere in the world. And the startup cost for this ultimate lazy wealth machine? Believe it or not, all it takes to activate the trials and get the whole system up and running is just $1.99. Now that is lazy wealth.